Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So today's video is going to be a review and test of the Nivea Men Sensitive Post Shave Balm. So I bought this a few months ago because Nikki Tutorials absolutely raves about it and I thought that I would give it a go. I wasn't specifically looking for this when I went shopping, but I saw it on the shelf and it was half price. Not that this is expensive as it is anyway, but at half price it was even less expensive, so I thought that I would buy it and give it a go. So as I said, I have had this for a few months now and I've used it rather a lot and I really like it. This is what I've actually been using as my primer for most days for the past couple of months, but I've never actually compared it to a regular primer. So I have noticed a massive difference between using no primer and using this as a primer because my makeup does last longer throughout the day. However, I've never tried this against a regular drugstore primer, so that is what I'm going to do today. So for comparison against the Nivea Men Sensitive Post Shave Balm, I'm going to be using the Factor Facefinity All Day Primer. The reason that I chose this primer to compare the two is because this one is specifically for extending the longevity of your foundation, as opposed to sort of a primer that specifically minimises pores, gives like luminosity, that kind of thing. This is also the primer that I use in all of my foundation first impression and reviews, so what I would do is I would apply this primer to half my face and nothing to the other half, and then you guys can see how the foundation wears throughout the day with and without a primer. So I will also link a couple of those foundation first impressions down below. So I'm going to take the Nivea Men Post Shave Balm and I'm just going to pour a tiny amount of it on my hand. The only bad thing about this bottle is it hasn't got a pump or anything like that. It is just pourable. So sometimes I can tend to use a little bit too much, but if you do have a light hand, it's not too bad. So I'm going to apply the Nivea Post Shave Balm to this side of my face. And the idea with this one is that you want to really rub it and work it into the skin, because the more you work it into the skin, the more it becomes tacky, and that's what's going to help your foundation stick to it. This one does have a slightly manly smell, but it's not too manly. It's like fresh and nice manly. But then once you put your foundation on top, that smell does completely go away. Okay, so that is the right side of my face applied with the Nivea Men Post Shave Balm, and it is tacky now, so it's not got that quite smooth feeling as when you first apply it. I've worked it into my skin and it does now have that tackiness. So I've had no problems using this on my skin over the past few months. I've had no sensitivity, no kind of breakouts or anything like that. Even though it is called sensitive and you wouldn't think it would do anything to your skin, my boyfriend, he has very dry, very sensitive skin. He has eczema, and when we first bought him the Nivea range, we bought him the sensitive version, obviously, but that did actually bring his skin up and he's perfectly fine with the regular version. So I just thought that I would throw that out there for you guys. Moving on to the regular drugstore primer, as I said, this is the Factor Facefinity primer, so I'm going to apply a small amount of this to the left side of my face. Okay, so now that I'm all primed up, I'm going to be going in with foundation, and I'll be using the L'Oreal Paris Lumi Magique foundation. Okay, so I'll start by going in on the Max Factor primed side. This foundation is slightly too dark for me today. I have been using the Bondi Sands Gradual Tanning Milk, which has made my face quite dark, but in this lighting, not quite dark enough. So we're going to take it down my neck and fake it till we make it. Yeah, that's better. So I've just applied that just to this cheek, just with the Max Factor drugstore primer. And as you can see, you can still see some of the redness here. It does go on really smooth. That is why one of the reasons why I love this primer. But I'm going to go in now on the Post Shave Balm side and see how we get on with that. Okay, so that is just my kind of two cheeks applied, and I don't know if you can tell on camera, but the side with the Post Shave Balm has got a slightly fuller coverage. You can still see the redness around my nose and cheek area on this side, the Max Factor primer side, but on this side it's covered up the redness rather well. There is still some redness, so I might go with a second coat, a second layer, but it has covered slightly better. Okay, so I'm going to go in with onto my forehead now. Okay, so that is the first layer applied. Differences in application, they both go on really smoothly and blend really well, but overall this side with the Post Shave Balm looks smoother than this side. This side also has a slightly fuller coverage. This side is a lot more sheer. which is not necessarily a good or bad thing, but if you do want to kind of maximise the amount of foundation that you're using and not really sheer it out, the Post Shave Balm is slightly better at this moment in time. They both look very, very airbrushed up close. The Max Factor one is a really, really good primer, so they do both look really airbrushed, but I'd probably just say the biggest difference is the coverage on this side, and so this side does just look much more kind of smooth and, yeah, airbrushed. You can't see as many imperfections as you can see on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a second layer just across my cheeks to see if I can cover up this little bit of redness here. So I'm not going to take too much, and I'm just going to dab the same dot across both cheeks. Okay, so that is my foundation completely done. Again, as I said, this side with the Post Shave Balm just has slightly more coverage. This side is just slightly more sheer. Both look very airbrushed, both look very flawless. However, this test is about the longevity of my makeup, not necessarily how it applies straight away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and then I'll be back in a few hours to give you guys an update on how that makeup is wearing. Hey guys, I'm back for an update. It's now 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so the primer and foundation have been on for 4 hours. And so far the foundation is lasting really well on both sides. So far I haven't noticed any wearing off of foundation on either side of my face. The only place it might have slightly worn off is on the bridge of my nose here, but as always I'm wearing my glasses throughout the day. Other places that my foundation tends to wear off slightly is around my chin and maybe slightly around my hairline, but so far none of that has worn off. My bronzer and contour and that kind of thing blended really nicely on top of the foundation, and neither side has worn off at all yet. The side of the Post Shave Balm maybe is still slightly more kind of structured than this side, but both is still lasting really well. So yeah, so far both sides lasting just as good as each other, and I'll be back in a couple of hours for another update. Hey guys, I'm back for my final update. It's now 6 o'clock in the evening, so the primer and foundation have been on for 7 hours. So I'm now holding my camera up in front of my face instead of having it on this stand. Usually I film against that wall right there, but today after I filmed my last update, we decided to change our bedrooms around upstairs. We have 2 bedrooms upstairs. Our bedroom used to be the one that was next to this one. Our heads would be at this wall here, but we decided to change them round. So where I would usually film where I have a stand, I no longer have a stand. So I'm trying to sort out my camera stand and camera light downstairs so I can film in my beauty room properly. But for this update, I'm just holding the camera in front of my face, so I hope it's not too wobbly for you guys. So overall, both sides of my foundation and makeup have lasted really, really well all day. So I'll start with the regular prime side. This side has lasted pretty well. There's only been a kind of like couple rubbings off, kind of like around my chin, definitely around my nose, but I always have foundation wearing off around my nose, and slightly on the bridge of my nose wearing my glasses, and then my kind of contour and bronzer has worn off slightly throughout the day as well. And then the side of my makeup with the Nivea Post Shave Balm has sort of done exactly the same as the side with the primer, but not quite as drastically. So yeah, even though the foundation has worn off in similar areas like around my nose, across the bridge of my nose, and also slightly on my chin, it's not quite as bad, and also I feel that my contour and bronzer has lasted slightly better as well. But overall, I would say there's not a drastic difference, not unless you are this close to somebody's face and really looking for imperfections. But other than that, the Nivea Post Shave Balm lasted really well in comparison with the other primer. So yeah, I definitely think that the Nivea Post Shave Balm has held its own against the regular drugstore primer, and I would definitely recommend it to any of you guys who want to try a really cheap but amazing primer. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, it really helps me out. And of course, please subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!